Did you know that for this movie, initially, director Jalmari Helander planned to cast the film's antagonist Igor Dragunov as a younger man, though when he was recommended to hire Stephen Lang, Helander became excited by the idea of having a villain of roughly the same age as the hero. I absolutely loved the first movie. I've seen it twice now. It's just so good. It's exactly my kind of action movie. So I got really excited that they're gonna make a second one. And my main reason for seeing the second one was because Stephen Lang was gonna be playing the bad guy. And as many of us know, Stephen Lang is a phenomenal bad guy. He always brings a great performance. So I was very, very happy with this sequel. I actually liked this sequel just a little bit better than the first one. I have three things I liked about this movie, and my last thing is definitely my favorite. First thing I liked about this movie is I liked the kind of the change in tone we get in the beginning of the movie. They start off kind of similar in terms of watching a Tommy just make his way through the country and, to get back home. This one started off a little more heartfelt with him going back to his home and just being haunted by his memories of his wife and his two kids that are no longer alive, and we got to learn more about that, which is what I was hoping for in this sequel because they talked about it a little bit, they kind of hinted at it, but we get to dive a little deeper into it. I mean, Dragunov is, part of his history. He's the one who killed his family, but I really like seeing like this vulnerability that we get to see in Tommy because the entire first movie we just get to see him as this killer. I mean, he's also trying to survive too, but we don't get to see a more gentler side to him. I didn't actually know what route they're gonna go for the sequel because honestly, this movie really didn't need a sequel, but I know a lot of people really want this sequel. Another character, like I said, Stephen Lang was the main reason I wanted to see this movie. He plays Igor Dragunov. We were introduced to him in a different way. I didn't expect to be introduced to him where he was actually a prisoner himself and the Russians actually locked him up and they released him like basically like he's a wild dog on a leash. He really doesn't have full control. They're giving him the illusion of power and control, but really they're just going to be there to remind him who's really holding the leash. So he's more dangerous that way. Second thing I liked about this movie, and really my favorite thing, and the thing that made this movie better than the first one, was the violence and the action. I didn't know what they're going to do in this one to top the action and violence from the first one, but we got to a point of it was a little more extreme. It was a little more of the ridiculous stunts that you would see in like a John Wick movie that really made no sense. The most ridiculous action moment in this movie was easily for me the tank flip. That was out of nowhere. And I watched this movie with my best friend Josh, and when we saw a tank flip, we just both looked over each other and we were like, what the heck just happened? Then also, I'd say the second craziest moment in this movie was the rocket scene at the end. Kind of just the climactic moment between Dragunov and Tommy. And he makes like a rocket train and he shoots all the way across the track. He just launches him through the train and he somehow is able to just maintain composure and just roll right into a fight. Like crazy stuff. Like it's stuff like that I love about action movies like this is you can just sit back, turn your brain off, and just enjoy just the over the top craziness, physics defying fights and action. But also this movie was way more brutal than the first one. They did not shy away from brutality at all, especially the torture scene kind of caught me off guard. It was a little much for me, honestly, but it really went to show what a bad dude Igor Dragunov is when he'll put someone through. I mean, he was really trying to break a Tommy. This movie really showed us what Sisu is all about. The first movie established what Sisu is. This movie really like gave us the definition. Like you see all the stuff that Tommy's going through, like you can't be any more Sisu than this. So I just love that. It just really sent the message home super strong. It just hits you in the face with all of it. And then my favorite scene was definitely the ending scene, the train fight scene where he's kind of gotta go through a whole couple train cars of people, and he's trying to be super sneaky about it, and it adds that tension. The tension was phenomenal, and he's trying to, can't make any noises, right? And one thing after another, he's trying not to be touched or step on something or whatever. And of course, stuff finally hits the fan, and but then he goes absolutely wild. And then we go into the fight scene with Dragunov, that scene was awesome too. Like exactly what I was hoping for, exactly what I was expecting to happen, and just how Dragunov meets his fate is wild. But man, what an explosive, crazy, violent, brutal, amazing sequel this was. So I highly recommend go out and see Sisu Road to Revenge right now. So for Sisu Road to Revenge, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10 Mudflaps. And remember, leave me a thumbs up. Drop in the comments below. Do you think we should get a Sisu 3, and what should it be about? See you soon.